Good morning, students. Today we're going to start with a new chapter, water. It reminds me of a nice quote. Quote, no water, no life. No blue, no green. Unquote. Sylvia Earle. Chemical formula of water is H2O. The molecular mass of water is 18 AMU. Now, how did you get 18? Two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of hydrogen has got an atomic mass of 1. One atom of oxygen has got an atomic mass of 16. So 16 plus 2 is 18. Water exists in all the three physical states: solid, liquids, and as gas. Solids may be in the form of ice or ice cubes, liquid water, and as gas may be water vapor, steam. Water occurs in free as well as combined states. Now let us discuss physical properties of water. Number 1. Pure water is colorless, odorless, and tasteless. Number 2. Boiling point. Pure water boils at 100 degrees Celsius under normal pressure. Greater the pressure, higher the boiling point. Whereas in the hills, it boils at lower than 100 degrees Celsius since the atmospheric pressure being low. For instance, if you ever go for an expedition on a mountain, or let's say Mount Everest, okay, the water will boil at 70 degrees Celsius there because it is at a higher altitude. And what happens there? Then the atmospheric pressure is decreased considerably. Hence, the boiling point has also lessened to a greater extent. Number 3. Freezing point or melting point. Pure water freezes at 0 degree Celsius and ice melts at 0 degree Celsius under normal pressure. Number 4. Density. Water has maximum density at 4 degree Celsius, that is 1000 kg per meter cube. So at what temperature water is densest? Water is densest at 4 degree Celsius. Now another very important term associated with water is anomalous expansion of water. What do you mean by anomalous expansion of water? Is an abnormal property of water whereby it expands instead of contracting when the temperature grows from 4 degrees Celsius to 0 degrees Celsius. That means the temperature is decreasing and the density becomes less as it freezes. So in between 4 to 6 degree 0 degree Celsius, what is happening? Water shows unusual behavior. Instead of contracting, on heating, instead of contracting, it expands. And on cooling, what happens? It, instead of contracting, it expands. Now, number 6. What do you understand by the term latent heat of fusion of ice? Latent heat of fusion of ice is 33,600 joules per Kelvin. Latent heat of fusion of ice is the amount of heat required to melt a unit mass of ice from the solid state to the liquid state. You have to learn the definition and remember the value of latent heat of fusion of ice. The term fusion means changing into solid, ice is changing into liquid water. Number 7. Specific heat capacity is the amount of heat energy required to change the temperature of unit mass of that substance through 1 degree Celsius. Let's say from 14 to 15 degrees Celsius. That means 1 degree change or rise in temperature. SI unit of specific heat capacity is joules per kg per Kelvin, or it can be joules per kg per Celsius. What do you understand by the term latent heat of vaporization of water? is the quantity of heat energy required to change water into its vapor state without any change in temperature. The heat of vaporization of water is 2268 joules per gram or 540 calories per gram. Now, before you start with the assignment, please keep in mind, do watch the video and of course revise the lesson before you start answering. Question number 1. Why is matter considered a compound? Question number 2. How do fishes and aquatic animals survive in winters when the pond gets covered with thick ice? Question number 3. Explain why water is used as coolant in car radiators. And question number 4. Define the following terms. What is specific heat capacity, which I did just now, and number 2, anomalous expansion of water, which we have already discussed. Thank you.